Encounters with the Nagual, Armando Torres, an impersonal organism. The objective of the rule of the Nagual is to generate parties, that is, self-aware organisms, capable of flying into the immensity out there. Such organisms are made up by the sum of a group of warriors who have harmonized their individual intents. The purpose of that design is to perpetuate a non-human dimension of awareness. Non-human, I asked? That's it. A dimension in which personality is no longer the aim. Human beings are unable to enter and remain for any extended length of time inside the realm of cosmic awareness, the state which Don Juan called the third attention. Either we leave it and forget, or we stay and melt into that unfathomable sea. But the power that governs us has found a way to get around this limitation by creating organisms in which individual entities work as members. At the core of these organisms, a radically new kind of attention is generated, an intent oriented towards exploring the unknown, investigating in teams what we otherwise cannot know. Feelings of individuality are no longer their operative center because they have been substituted by something much more intense, living as a part of the whole, an energy state that no ordinary man can even conceive of. There are no routines, there is no ego, there is no ignorance, there is no interpretation. That kind of organism is only one stage in the infinite path of awareness, but for us human beings, that stage is final. I asked him how the awareness of parties operates. He gave me an analogy of the physical body. Although in only a hazy way, each one of our cells is conscious of their unity, and within the certain limits, each one can act independently. However, their individual intent is subordinate to the superior purpose, which is to form the whole, which we call me. When we finally arrive at the incredible achievement of realizing the global purpose, we can discern a superior evolutionary line. We perceive the possibility of being integrated with our complementary energetic beings, creating a form of life whose purposes are as far from the concerns of the daily world as the awareness of a single cell is from our totality. New seers call that life form the party of the Nagual. Who are our complementary energetic beings, I asked. Human beings who possess luminous characteristics that complement each other. Energy is recurrent. It generates patterns that we all share. In general terms, it can be said that there are 4 basic luminous patterns with 12 variants, synthesized by the Nagual man and the Nagual woman. As a tonal approaches the ideal luminosity for his type, it manifests a superior degree of awareness. When ideal models meet, they combine. The feeling of attraction among human beings can be explained as a result of the fusion of their energy molds. Normally, such a fusion is partial, but sometimes a sudden and inexplicable wave of sympathy occurs. A seer would say that that is an act of energy reciprocity that has taken place. The warriors of a party combine in such a way that their relationships produce optimal results in the sense of gaining and accumulating power. It is difficult to find characteristic luminous bodies who are available for the task of the Nagual. The usual is to find tonals deformed by the life of the world. But when a Nagual is able to integrate his party, the energy of his warriors will fuse. They sacrifice their individuality for a superior goal, and returning to their previous isolation is no longer possible. It would only mean death for them. You may say that a party is not composed of individuals, but rather a single living organism with capabilities that are not human. What awareness of the objective of he in the party does each member have? Full awareness. Each one of them knows the tales of power pertinent to their specialty, and they know their function is part of a purpose that transcends themselves. The relationship between the rule and the party is expressed in their tasks. For example, when a female warrior of a group receive the command of tracking energy in space until they find possible candidates for a new generation of sorcerers, they concentrate on that task as their avenue to freedom. They're not interested in anything else. If the discipline of that intent cracks, the result can be chaotic. The party is a self-conscious being that overcomes us thoroughly. To participate in its intent is something so exceptional that as soon as an apprentice glimpses its totality, his ego position just melts. That does not imply that he automatically becomes impeccable. For years, he will still have to make an effort to temper his character and to extinguish his self-importance, as well as his obsession for power. The work of the Nagual is exhausting. He has to have perfect control of the arts of stalking and dreaming. He has to learn to see and to develop his capacity of manipulation to the maximum. And he has to serve as an example of sobriety in order to maintain the cohesion of the group. If they are allowed to be carried away by their emotions, the result is disintegration. I asked him why. Because the party is an organism of critical mass. If any one of its components goes astray from the goal, the resulting dysfunction causes a collapse, and everything would have to be restarted. That is why the Nagual is obliged to demand from his warriors that they give all of themselves, and he must distribute their tasks so that all of them can participate with optimism and trust. The oil of the party is the impeccability of its members, and its fuel, the yearning for total freedom.